Hello and good morning, everyone. This is Abhilasha. I'll be your host for now. And let's start with our conference today. Thank you for joining us for World Intelligent Robotic Process Automation Summit. We have amazing line of speakers today, all experts in their field. But before we start with the first session, I'd like to brief you about who we are and what we do. So you had seen the transformation journey from pre-pandemic, during pandemic, and hopefully we are going to return to our old mode, I should say, or the transformation again from from online to offline. 70% of our events now are going to be hosted at physical events. So we are hosting our first physical event in May, 26th and 27th of May. That is going to be again a World Robotic Process Automation Summit. Hope to see you all again there at Novotel, Bangalore. For those who are from Bangalore and those for any other location, we will still hope to host you at Bangalore. Okay, so who we are? So we are 1.21 GWS, and we organize company meetups worldwide, serving as a community platform for industry collaboration. So 1.21 GWS provides a platform to build and enhance the productivity quotient of working professionals through experiential module developed and delivered by the industry thought leaders, those who you will experience today. This helps the industry by making their employees more productive in the organization. The vision that we have is transforming thoughts to accelerate success. Something about our founders. Our founders are Ms. Archana Khare and Mr. Nitesh Naveen, both of them being founder, co-founder, and the CEO, and both now presently based in Melbourne. These are our geographies. The transition has been from geography to time zones now, but I'm sure the transition is soon to be on the geography again. So these are our geography: NZ, USA, Asia, India, Europe, UK, and South Africa. Today we are hosting it at IST time zone. These are few of the things that we organize, like guest lectures, seminars, workshop, consulting service, customized conferences, one-to-one insight. We have a media portal. We organize trainings, workshops, and contests. Very soon, everything will be on our events page calendar. Details on how do we organize conferences, trainings, and what all gets involved, and then finally how it turns up to a day where we host it finally. Where does our expertise lie? So we have experts who are senior level people from various organizations covering nearly all fields of engineering, along with soft skills and motivational speakers. We can provide you service of creating an holistic approach of high impact educational practices through interactive by face-to-face interactions with expert community. Currently, we have nearly 500 experts who are ready to provide services in various fields. Our customers are global based IT service companies and worldwide mid-size IT companies providing IT service solutions. Some of the core areas of specialization are big data and analytics, cloud computing, agile, software testing, IoT, and DevOps. These are few to name. A glimpse of our events gallery once we used to organize for face-to-face events. Soon we'll have the present also. This is a small team of ours. I'm sure this year will be growing. These are our contact details. Most of you have my email ID and contact number in your emails when I have sent you the final agenda. Do write to me for any question, query, or anything that you might need assistance with. So without much ado, let's kickstart with our conference schedule, which is the first session being on the RPA vendor landscape. And to present, we have Sunkara Vedavyas, intelligent RPA developer from Cognizant Technology Solutions. Sankara, may I request you to please share your presentation?
Yes, thank you. So the topic is RPA vendor landscape. That is not nothing but that we have the different type of RPA vendors right now in the market. So we need to check the how to choose the right tool and how to differentiate between those. Like any pro and cons we can discuss in the slides actually. So let's jump into the what is RPA robotic process automation. So RPA is a technology actually that will mimics the human interaction. So whatever we are doing, we are interacting with the software applications such as like desktop or web or anything. We will interact with with using the cursors and keyboard tools. So apart of that one, we can directly interact with the softwares by using the software code, the code which we can written in the form of like .NET or Java. So these technology will mimics the activities which we are doing actually. So this will automate the activities which are repetitive and rule based actually. Repetitive is nothing but some persons like from back end offices, we had a task like we need to check the each and every ticket and we can give the solution for that thing. So for that thing we can use the automation code, we can write the automate code for that thing, and it will do and perform the certain action in repetitive mode by scheduling the bot actually. It will reduce the human interaction actually, that will benefit in the benefit of the ROI of the project. So in between, if you got any doubt, you can raise your hand or else you can speak it out. I will clarify the doubts also in between the slides. So the process which we need to be automate by using RPA is it should be rule based and repetitive, and it we can do for any application. We can enter the data, calculation, complex tasks. We can manipulate the videos and we can extract the data from PDF. Everything we can done by using this RPA technology. This is way ahead of the traditional automation. In traditional automation, we can do by using lots of code. We can interact the mails and everything like web automation, desktop automation, everything we can interact by using these tools and technologies. But when it comes to the RPA, by using the low code, by using the little bit of scripts, we can automate the every application. It is possible by using this RPA. So now when it comes to after the pandemic, every institute will moving towards the digitalization. So in the part of the as a part of digitalization, so they are moving towards this RPA. So I will give the difference between the RPA and traditional automation. Traditional automation is nothing but, for example, we can have Selenium tool which we can automate by using the Java programming. So when it comes to the RPA, we have different type of vendors like as UiPath, Blue Prism, Workfusion. So these are all comes to the RPA. So main functionality wise difference is like we can automate the repetitive and rule based things by using RPA as we discussed in the first slide. But when it comes to the traditional automation, it doesn't mimic the human actions, but the predefined programming which we can done about 100 to 1000 lines of code, it will do the particular task, but it will be not mimic the human actions what we are doing in particular. So in RPA, everything we can do, we can interact with the Citrix, we can interact with the desktop SAP, everything we can do, but traditional automation has some limitations in that thing. Like for user friendliness of the RPA, we can have like we can much need of very little bit of programming skills actually. When it comes to the traditional automation, we can have, if you want to do any Java automation or Python automation, we need to learn from the basic converts to advanced topic also. We can have the clear syntax for that. When it comes to the RPA, we can have a scripts, or we can already having some pre-built bots actually. So we can reuse that thing in our RPA tool. So duration also will impact in this thing. How the duration will impact is like we can set the process and we can define the requirements and we can gather that thing and we can schedule the process. Each and everything will be done in the less time. Like in a month we can implement a RPA process. But when it comes to the traditional automation, there are certain levels of actions we can do. We can, first of all, we need to check the each and every functionality of the application and then we can proceed. But when it comes to the RPA, there are certain activities already predefinedly we can have, just we can drag and drop and we can do the automation. That is quite easier. And integration also, when it comes to finally integration we already having, as I said, activities such as email activities are there, Excel activities are there, ERP, CRM, and lot of activities we are having. Just we can drag and drop and we can give the script of the functionality, like just a code. How can we loop, just basic programming skills which we require, like loops, concepts, syntaxes. Oops concepts is enough for this thing. When it comes to the our traditional automation, we don't have that much of integrations actually. And comes to the benefits of robotic process automation is like, when it comes to the scalability, we can scale the RPA to any level of extent. We can improve the RPA by whenever we done with the RPA project, we can move it to the repository. And when it comes to the, when client given any sudden requirement changes in that thing, we can scalable to any extent by further actually when it comes to the RPA. So customer experience also will improve by giving the RPA as a tool to automate the required things. And when it comes to the compliance, there are security levels, like when we have to done with any web automation, like by using username and password, we can let go through the web application, right? For example, if we take any Facebook or any application, we had a credentials to get into that thing. So for compliance, what RPA is maintaining is like higher standard, like security they are maintaining. We can store the password, but it will not, it is an encrypted format, like AES standard which will follow. AES 265 standard security it will follow, and it will securely store the client credentials also. It will not really reveal to any person, and in hash format it will be stored actually. And delivery is ease of quick delivery, we can give at any cost, we can give the in quickly. And integration we already discussed, we can integrate to any application actually, whether it is a web desktop mail, anything we can integrate quickly by using these activities. For each and every RPA tool we had the activities. When comes to some other tools, it will call it as actions. Anything is same, but we can perform the same level of coding we can do. It is a low code when compared to the traditional automation, it is simple code we can do. When comes to the return on investment, this is the very main capability of the RPA return, which we expect the return from the investment is like huge actually. We can spend very much less time, and we can implement the process, and we can expect more we can reduce the cost also. And it eliminates the repetitive process. For example, for the main task, for the main thing of this automation is like eliminating the repeated task which are doing by the humans in a repeated loop. So we can cross check that thing, and we can schedule the bot, and the bot will do at any time of extent. Suppose human has some cons, like he has having some holidays or something, but bot will run at any point of time when we schedule. That is the main benefit of the RPA. And process wise also, it will increase our process standards by using this RPA tool. And cost, definitely it will reduce the cost of burden for each and every resource. We can reduce the resource, and we can maintain only single resource for this thing. Suppose if it comes to the traditional automation, it will takes 10 automation persons. If we can reduce the cost for that being 2 persons at least by using this RPA. So these are the main benefits of the robotic process automation. So this is the RPA life cycle, which consists of the 6 pages actually. First is the discovery page, where our requirement gather comes to the picture actually. We can gather our requirements. How this process will, is this a repetitive task? Is it a rule based task? If it is a repeated task only, then we can do the automation. That is the best thing, right? If it is a rule based, it means certain rules to be maintained. If any changes in comes between, the bot will not handle like a human. So that is the main thing of the discovery page. We can do gather all the requirements. We can do the PDD and SDD. There are two documents actually which we need to be done in the discovery page. PDD is done by the business analyst, and SDD will be done by the RPA developer. And so in the solution design page, we can do the STD things, and we can design the solution for the RPA end to end, like what are the inputs for this process, what are the expected outputs. We can define the everything in the STD document, and this to be done in the solution design page. And when it comes to the development phase, here the RPA developer will be involved, and he has to take the discovery page PDD document and solution page STD document, and he will process the each and every requirement, and he design the code by using these tools actually. Suppose if we take the UI path, we have a studio where we can design our code actually, and after the design we can move to the UAT page. Once we done all the testing, unit testing, we can do it to the UAT. UAT is nothing but user acceptance testing, where the user will check the each and everything, like the functionality and the expected output is coming or not, whether he derived the correct functionality, like each and everything will be checked in the UAT page. After that, we can deploy the bot to the orchestrator. When it comes to the UI path, it's called orchestrator. It is the cloud thing where we can deploy our bots. Once we design the bot and we can develop the bot, we can deploy the bot to the orchestrator, where we have the schedule things. We can schedule our bot to the particular time period. In that time period, the bot will run in repetitively or not. we can schedule like weekly we have to run or daily we have to run. We can schedule those by using the cron expressions. Also we can extend, like we can exclude certain dates and we can include some dates, or then we can deploy the bot. Once we deploy the bot, it will run on the particular time periods. And then if we can execute the bots, it will bot in the orchestrator. Once we schedule it, it will be automatically triggered and it will automatically run the bots at the particular time periods. Okay, as we come to the roles of the RPA project, we have the RPA developer, which will develop the code, and business analyst, which will gather requirements in the, as I shown in the previous slide. In the business analyst role is to gather the requirements in the design phase, and RPA developer will develop the STD document, and then he code the each and every functionality of the RPA code. And solution architect, he will design the code, and if any hurdles or action plans is deviated, he will check the course of time and he will give the particular solution in a good way. And when it comes to the support team, RPA support team member, he will be support for the when we schedule any RPA bot, whether it will be run or it will be fail sometimes, or the fail scenario, we need to check the logs actually, how why the bot is failed and what change will occur in the but in between the application. Maybe for some applications which we are interacting, suppose if we take the Gmail, suppose if we developed and designed and executed the bot, after in between this, we may have the change in the login scenario, like some the login application, like password field is changed to somewhere else in the web page, so it will display the error. So we need to check the logs actually. So for this thing, RPA team member will do that thing. Likewise, we have the RPA consultant and RPA project manager, who will manage our team members, what they are doing, whether the plan of action is going correctly or not. These roles are involved. These are the particular roles which involved in the each and every RPA project actually. So for any successful RPA plan, we have a particular points which need to be noted actually. So if we have any RPA process which need to be done on a particular application or any project, we have to consider these 4 points. First is identification of the right process. Like we need to check whether it is a repetitive, high volume. If it is a less volume, there is no requirement, right, to check to do this automation. It is of high volume, so if we have to gather 100 PDFs and we need to extract the text from that, it is of high volume. Human interaction is much more. He need to spend much more work time, like work hours. So we can reduce by using this RPA. So we need to check whether it is high volume or repetitive, or human judgment is required, or it is a rule based or not. Like these questions we need to check before implementation our RPA to the particular project. So vision also, we had a clear vision, like we can automate this process. Sometimes automation is not possible. Like if we have had an OTP kind of scenario which we can't automate. 100% automation is also not possible actually. So that we need to check in further before implementing RPA. So once we have licensed that RPA vendor, we had the license cost, right? For each and every tool we had a license cost. So in before only we need to check what is the process which we are automating, whether it is restricted to this all 4 points or not. We need to check in beforehand, then only we need to move forward actually. And establishment governance also, we need to check whether the board, like team members are involved, how many team members are there, and we need to check how they are moving forward, how we can schedule, how we can implement this process. Like every each and everything we need to check. Like we need to train the people also beforehand. Suppose if it comes to the RPA, we have a different types of tools. It is slight a little bit of difference between the tools, but the main thing is same. So we need to train them beforehand before we are moving to the RPA. Then it will be much more efficient, and it will be of ROI is also very much higher when comes to when we train in further hand. So those are the 4 points we need to keep in mind before comes to the RPA plan. So now comes to the types of automations. There are different types of automation which are available as of now. These are few, but there are more. We can imagine beyond that thing. But when it comes to the there are mainly five of them. Desktop automation is nothing but we had a calendar thing in a desktop, like we had a clock thing. Each and everything in the Windows application we can consider as a desktop application. So we can automate, we can interact that thing, and we can take the output of the thing, we can extract, we can scrape the data from the thing, everything we can do. When it comes to the web application, each and every like HTTP of thing from the web www thing, we can interact with that particular web application, we can post the data to that thing, or we can extract, we can grab the report, we can take the report and we can manipulate the report, and we can re-upload the data. Everything we can do by using the web application automation. When it comes to the API automation, it is like much more faster than the previous two automations actually. When it comes to the, it is the alternative to the web application. So each and every web application there should be an API automation. Majorly an API automation will be there. So we need to check the documentation of the API automation. It is quite fast actually when compared to the web automation. It will do like we had a 4 to 5 methods are there: post, put, delete, the and these are the methods which we are having. Then we can use that methods and we can automate that thing. We can grab the data much more faster when it comes to the web application. And one more thing is like citric automation, like VDA kind of things are there which we need to interact in that application, and we need to take the data from the citrix thing. So this is in this automation, it will consider as an image thing. The whole picture it will consider as an image, and in that image it will take the, it will click the, suppose if you want to click the Chrome application in the citrix, it will treat as image and it will click the particular by using the coordinates, xy coordinates in the screen. In the pixels also it will check and it will click the particular element of this in the screen, and it will do the automation. And when it comes to the SAP automation, it is the particular automation which we can do in a SAP modules actually. SAP HANA, SAP FICO, and everything we can automate by using the SAP automation. For that thing, we had a integration things of the activities which we can pull the thing. It is a like plug and play thing. We can to the SAP, like to SAP HANA, take of SAP HANA, and we can drag and drop that thing, and we can give the particular credentials to enter into the SAP application, and we can take the data from that thing and we can manipulate, and we can email that thing to any particular person. We can email the email to the particular person. That is also possible. So these are the main five automations which we can do by using this RPA technology. So in various domains which we use it, the RPA is like banking. In banking, we can check the invoices actually. In healthcare, we can check the claim processes. We can check in the healthcare, and we have the life sciences where we can do our RPA automation. We can check the chemical bonding of the thing by using the RPA. And in HR, we can use this thing, and we can detect the payrolls of that thing, and we can automate the emails. And in networking also we can use, like in Cisco they are already using this RPA as a thing to implement the further process. And telecom, like they can use for the customer services. And in retail also we can use, as long as a part like insurance also we can use the claim insurance policies, we can use this thing in RPA. These are the various domains which we can implement the RPA. And when it comes to the vendors, these are the top vendors which are in the marketplace. They had the quite a few of differences in between them, but the top four are like UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, and Power Automate. Power Automate belongs to the Microsoft, and rest here individual vendors. So we can check the differences in between, and we can, I will in the further slide I will show you the factors which how we can choose the particular vendor actually. So we can move on to the next slide and we can check the thing. So factors we need to consider while checking a RPA tools like support. How support is there giving for us the RPA vendor. Suppose if we had an issue with the RPA, how it was not moving further, then they have to support further, right? So we can choose the support. And average handling time is nothing but the process which we are implementing should be of less time and compared to the other tools. So minimum handling time is good at all. So features like advanced features are there in the particular RPA vendor. Suppose OCR, optical character recognition, and chatbot features, AI Fabric. These are the advanced features. We need to check the features also. And license cost is nothing but the cost per the bot. Suppose some license vendors will acquire the cost for lifetime, and some are for the bots, and some are for users. Like the cost is dependent. We can choose the our particular client budget, and we can select the right tool. And return on investment, as we already discussed, the return on investment in the benefit of the RPA. Updates are nothing but the quite a few patches and DNA updates. When we have the new features, they need to update timely these updates. And academy or learning paths is nothing but the when we have any RPA tool, we need to check we need to train them. So for this different tools, like for UiPath Academy is there. For automation anywhere, we had a university like that. We have the different platforms where we can learn and we can update our upskill our thing, and we can do the particular tasks actually, so which will be useful. And security and compliance is nothing but we had a passwords, and we had the things which we can pass the things to the RPA, and it will be securely stored. It has not to reveal the passwords to any third party tool. We need to check in further. And ease of use is nothing but the programmer which we are developing the RPA thing, it should be of less thing, like coding will be of low code. We can have the syntax. So majorly all the RPA tools are ease of use, as I said. And reliability, it should be of convenient to use, and we have the particular things which we have to automate, it should be of reliable. And scalability, we already discussed it has to be scaled for any extent. And we have to check the customer reviews and research reports also. Customer reviews we can get from the g2.com website, and research reports we can get from the like Everest Peak, and we can discuss in further slides for the research reports. Few RPA use cases are, these are the few RPA use cases which we can implement and test for your demo purpose, which are invoice processing, fraud detection we can do, claims handling in insurance policies, customer services in retails and telecom, data extraction we can do from the PDFs. In videos also we can get the subtitles from the videos. There are many things we can do. Payroll is for HR thing. We can do the payroll use case also. We can demo that thing. And these are the top 10 RPA tools which are by having the HFS report. These are the top RPA tools by using the execution purpose, innovation, and it is split between these five sections. We have the top 10 tools we can choose in between those. And this is the Everest group peak matrix actually. This is the mountain life thing. Then we can check like UiPath is the top of the hill, and automation anywhere when comes to the Blue Prism NISC is the leaders actually. The major contenders are like Microsoft Power Automate and rest of the things. This is 2021's report which we gathered. Likewise, we had the Magic Quadrant. We had the leaders, challengers, niche players, and visionaries in the four quadrants. We have the four quadrants which we can choose the leaders in the top. So again, these four are the top: UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Work, Blue Prism, and Microsoft Power Automate. So this is another report from IDC MarketSpace 2021 and 22. We can check the leaders, major players, and containers from this thing in this slide. So the advanced thing of RPA is like it is interacting with the AI. This is beyond our imagination. Like it can do anything. Like in RPA, we can do only repeated and rule based as we discussed it in the first slide. But by combining the with the AI, it will cause as intelligent process automation. RPA is when combining with the AI like machine learning, natural language processing, it will become to the intelligent process automation. It can do the things of its own when we integrated with the AI. Like we can take the videos and we can channelize that thing. Everything we can do. It will detect the text from the images. Everything it will do, and it can also translate speech to text, and text to speech also is possible by using the intelligent process automation. This is the advanced thing of the RPA. So advanced concepts in RPA is like OCR, optical character recognition from the image to text. Chatbots we can do by using a simple drag and drop thing. We can do each and everything. Document understanding, like we can from the handwriting to text also we can understand by using this RPA tools. Process mining, we can define the things in beforehand. We can check the whether the process is to be automatable or not. We can check using the process mining. And we can integrate from different activities by using the cloud services. Google Cloud, we can integrate everything we can do. AI Fabric is also new thing which we can integrate and we can do. So that data which I extracted from this website is like I shown here in this slide. So any query so far you can shoot with the time.
Yeah, thank you, Sankara, for all the information and the valuable insights. So he's opened the forum for any questions that you might have for him or anything that you would like to discuss on any of the things that he has presented. Please feel free to unmute yourself or type it out in the chat box. If there is any prohibition, I will read out for you. So guys, any question? If not, then I would like to thank Sankara for his presentation. Thank you, Shankara, and we look forward to having you for the entire day today. If not, then whatever the time permits you. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Akriti.